Hi, writers. It is Tuesday, February the 28th, 2023, and we are done with the second month of the year, which seems almost unfathomable to me. But it is a great reminder for us to all slow down and pay attention to the days because they go by way too fast. In this week's newsletter, we are going to wrap up some of the concepts that we've been learning in Julia Cameron's book, Seeking Wisdom. So over the past 5 weeks, we have explored our relationship to creativity. We have looked at various forms of prayer that we can use to connect with our creativity, to listen to our creativity, and to gain help from the creativity out there that also exists inside us. In this chapter, Julia Cameron is wrapping this up by helping to answer a very important question. What is the relationship between creativity and spirituality? Now, there are plenty of people out there who think of spirituality as the S word because they've been wounded by organized religion. So let me be clear about what I mean by spirituality. When I'm talking about spirituality, I am talking about how you make meaning and where you find hope. And every single human being has some framework they use for making meaning. So that's all we're talking about when we talk about spirituality. So we're going to look at that connection and how these various forms of prayer and listening and artist dates and morning pages come together to help us understand that. In this video, I would like to look at one specific quote from Julia's chapter. So she says, as artists, we too are both delicate and sturdy, like the flower. Sometimes we feel our delicacy to be a liability. We wish for a thicker skin, and yet, as poet Juliana McCarthy says, if we rid ourselves of our vulnerability, we rid ourselves of our capacity to create. And so we must be open to the pain that comes with life. Our openness moves us to create. I wanted to read this to you because maybe like me, you have heard different messages throughout your life, like you're too sensitive, or you need to have a thicker skin, or you need to toughen up in some way. And writers are really good at giving each other these messages, especially because feedback can be difficult. But I want to tell you an important truth. You do not need to have a thicker skin. That is a lie. And your delicacy, that sense of vulnerability inside you, that open heart from which you create is your gift to the world. It is not a liability. And so I want you to begin to embrace that, because when you can embrace this part of you that is your deepest gift, you can begin to truly listen to your creativity and do what I was talking about to an author friend of mine about, which is to listen to the questions that are existing in your bones. Those questions are the deepest reasons why we create. We create and we tell stories, whether they are true stories or they are fictional stories, in order to answer the questions rattling around in our bones. And it's through the process of creating these stories that we settle those things inside us. And when we settle those things inside us, we allow our stories and our creativity to be of service to others and of the greatest gift to the world. So my hope for you is that you will embrace this aspect of yourself and begin to deepen that meaning-making process that you do by trying out some of Julia's exercises, the one in this chapter and the one in the other chapters, so that you too can really benefit from her wisdom and lead from that most spiritual place inside you. So I hope that you will take all of this in, that you will examine the various things that I talk about in this week's newsletter, and that you will use these questions, Julia's exercises, and this exploration of spirituality to always and forever write on. I wish you the very, very best, friends, and I look forward to talking with you again next week.